of the work environment. Remote working
Yeah.
is the thing which is working right now. Otherwise, the companies would just stop working. It sucks. That's great. Welcome, Mr. Hussam. Hussam has the hat
Hi,
on.
Mr. Zain.
How are you today, sir?
Hi, everybody. Good. Good.
Great. So Isha is just wrapping up one thing which was
Yeah.
on for her. In the meanwhile, Saurabh and Hussam, we are going to be recording this session. Okay. So it's for you to watch it at a later time as well. Once this session is over, to grasp some little things. But just to set the agenda for everybody and what we're going to be doing it today, we will focus ourselves on task 3 and task 4. Okay. So the first thing that I'm looking out from you, as you already, Hussam and Tan knows it well, but Saurabh, we mentioned something around difference between task 3 versus task 4 in the last session. So what do you recall at this point of time?
So basically, for task 4, it's like mostly probability, and we have to just think about imagination,
Okay.
and we have to talk what we can think is gonna be happening in next future, or like few minutes in the picture.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I think about those words related to location,
Mm-hmm.
like around, beyond, next to. Those words we have to use.
Are the keywords there. So you were right, absolutely, with a lot of things that you've said, but there is a key point that is still missing on, So let's do one thing, today, as I said, we're going to be doing something different, right? So let's put our thinking caps now and think deeply, what exactly is one thing, so that we always remember this particular moment when we are giving the test. Okay, this was the time when we had, it looks funny, it's kind of engaging, it's always good for your brain to remember. So let's all put our caps, and then let's hear it out again, maybe this time from Isha, because I know Isha knows this, remembers this at least, after all the sessions. Isha, you're all looking all good and, very different.
Yeah.
Perfect, Isha. So
what about which task?
So you have to tell the difference, Isha, that you remember at this point of time with your thinking cap on. What is the major difference when we compare task 3 versus task 4 in CELPIP speaking?
Task 3 is picture task.
Describing the scene.
No.
Describing.
4th is prediction.
4th is making a prediction. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
And 5th is?
5th is comparing and persuading, but today we will stick to the picture task.
Picture task.
Yes.
Oh, your cat.
Yeah, he's also getting intrigued, what is happening here.
So in picture, while we are describing, we don't, first point is we don't have to make predictions. Only the picture we have to describe as it is.
Right. So what kind of words would you advise sort of to use, Isha?
As in, this is what I can see in this picture on the top right corner, on the left, in the foreground, background, besides, and descriptive word like that. Yes. The color, the lady in the with blonde hair, red color t-shirt, this, everything you can see.
Very good. No, claps for you. So this is what I was looking out for, So that's nice, Isha. When Saurabh, I hope you were following the speech. So when it comes to descriptive words, whenever you perform in task 3 and we comparing it with task 4, that's the difference. In task 4, Saurabh, as you can generally understand, it's more about Hussam what? What is it about? Task 4, the keyword for it.
It's like the keyword, like
the major difference. The major difference between task 3 versus task 4. The keyword.
Like we create story about task 4, just like
make predictions as a story.
Prediction, like the guys will go somewhere and then he will just just create a story for this picture.
Right.
That's what happened next.
Okay, what happened next? But when you're saying what happened next, what kind of tense are you using?
Future.
Future.
Yes, future tense. Okay.
Yeah.
So always remember, I think Saurabh had some, yeah, Saurabh is back now. So Saurabh, for you, just to repeat, what we were talking here is that the major differentiation factor, Saurabh, is going to be future tense for task 4 and descriptive words in detail with indicators for, indicators are valid for both task 3 and task 4. That's the similarity, but the difference is going to be in using descriptive words and using future tense. So we're going to be opening a task now. And what would you folks advise today? We should be doing time. We've been doing a lot of time, non-time. What is the mood today for the for the mentees here with me?
That time is very important, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vote is counted. Your votes are getting heavy. So 2. What about Saurabh?
Yeah.
I think time won because
Mhm.
I just listened my earlier recording from the portal, which we talked about yesterday,
Yeah.
and then I realized that is not a level line in any words. So yeah, time one is
Timed is always better, right? Absolutely. Great. So I think Isha also has the support, right? All 3 of us are up for time responses. Perfect.
But
Yeah, you're going to be getting your chance in 10 minutes, so don't bother. Complete. We'll begin with Husam today. The super chat.
Yeah.
Husam is looking very nice, clean shaved with the hat on. And I also had the cat.
This is clothes of work, so I will be ready
This
to
is
go
your
to
chef
work,
dress. Whoa. So are you that kind of a person who used to get ready for his school and used to sleep with the uniform and then used to get up and run?
No, I just get up. No.
All right. I just mistaken, I thought you were one of those kids. Husam.
Yeah, I just use that other cup, but we use this one for work. So
Okay. Cool. So let me just choose one picture for you and let's begin the practice. Oh, so many tabs. In the meanwhile, Saurabh, you did some practice around, like yesterday, or you didn't get the time, I believe.
No, I didn't did any practice sort of, but I just watched some video how to set up my tone.
Okay.
So that's what I'm being practicing now.
That's good, So did you figure out just something from yesterday, or it's taking you time to understand what exactly could be the things around tone?
Sorry, can you come again?
The things around tone and rhythm, sort of. So what exactly you could figure out in yesterday to like modulation?
Yeah, so I saw a couple of videos, and in one video it was like you should practicing saying like going high and then low. So if you have to speak about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this way you start practicing up and down of your voice tone.
Correct.
So that's one.
That's right. Very good. So
and another is suggested to practice more like what we say tongue twisters and read aloud.
Yes.
So that our muscles around of my mouth will start getting in the place to speak fluently.
So what we're talking here, Saurabh, is more around pronunciation. So as you all know, right? I've mentioned this to you before. So let's, because we have the thinking cap. So this is also another thinking cap thing that you should recall. Sorry, Husam, do you remember what are 2 parts of speech? I've mentioned this a couple of times, but let's see if you remember right now with your. What are the 2 parts of speech? Speaking comprises of 2 major blocks. I've discussed that a couple of times in previous sessions. But do you recall what are those 2 things? The first starts with F. Okay, let me give you hints. The second starts with A.
Fluency and accuracy.
Wow. Isha is so attentive, even with the work on it. Husam was thinking, what is it? What is it?
I didn't remember anything.
Time to remember with the thinking cat, thinking hat this time, Husam. Okay?
Yeah, it's working actually.
Right, is it right? You remember?
Yeah.
Isha is like, because of the thinking hat on, Don't go with the test. You can actually go with the test with a hat. I don't know if you can, but that would be quite weird to walk in, with a hat like this. But anyway, folks. So this is sort of one thing that you should remember. I think I must not have mentioned this to you before. So there is this part of fluency, which comprises of your speech, and the second part is accuracy. Right in the in the initial session that I had with you, I did mention a bit about this.
Yeah.
So fluency sort of takes time to develop. Okay, so there is rhythm, intonation, for example, the things that you're working on. But those are the fine tunings, buddy, of speech. Okay, the major chunk, the 80% of the problem lies in the accuracy part of it. So even if you are really accurate and you're somewhere not that fluent, I mean, of course, as an advanced fluent you are, but not super advanced fluent, you can still manage away a CLB 9 plus in your exam. Easy. Okay. So this is the reverse logic that we apply. But for now, just remember that it's two parts, and it's going to be accuracy and fluency. So I'm going to later in the sessions giving you more details around what comprises of what. For example, pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary is a part of your fluency. But task fulfillment, the rating parameters, that's all a part of your accuracy aspect. So this is something, you can, I'll ask you later in some other session, but for now, just information. All right. So cool. Let's begin with practice, Hussam. You ready? Let's time ourselves. I'm going to open a timer on my desktop as well.
Yeah.
You also time, so you have the preparation and the other part, intact. Okay.
Yeah.
All clear to you? Any questions do you have before you attempt? Anything still on your mind, Mr. Hussam? Ask if there is something that you still get. This is the thinking time for us. So
I don't know, but I will try. So it's hard, but
no, it's not hard. What is hard about it? See, just choose an element that you want to walk around, Hussam. Choose that element, give the bigger picture, choose the element, and move in a clockwise or an anti-clockwise direction. But be as descriptive as you can. Give it a natural shot. I want you to speak like Hussam. Okay?
Yeah.
Perfect, man. Give me 2 thumbs up and then let's begin. Good luck.
Okay.
All right.
Finally.
Already, Isha, do observe Hussam's speech. It'll be good to know if there's something that I miss. Let's begin your preparation time, Hussam. 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. With the chef dress, I believe you will perform much better.
I don't know.
Good luck, mate. Good luck. 10 seconds to go. I'm just going to buzz like this on the screen, okay, when 10 seconds are there. But note your timer as well. All right. 5 seconds. Let's begin now.
The picture depicts a scene in Crossel of airport for airports. There is an arrival in a Crossel taking all luggage. And on front of me, there is in front of the picture, there is a female and a male who's taking the kids, and next to him there is a man who's the man who's taking his who's grabbing his, I don't know what's that. Next to him, I think it's hard for me too.
10 seconds to go. And it's okay. If you're not feeling confident, you can stop. But you didn't perform bad until you really stopped. Okay, so you were going fine, Hussam. If you would have pushed yourself until a nice closure as well. Okay, like have an ending part as well. Okay, there were repetitions. The accuracy part was there, but the fluency part was not there, Hussam. Okay? Try and understand. But still, if you would have continued until the end, had a nice closure to this, this is what I can look in this particular picture at this point of time, and or you would have just been a little more with a nice closure is all I mean. So that would have changed the dynamic itself. So you were not bad. There were a couple of things I think I observed a couple, but what did you self while speaking? What is in your mind? What is still the thing that you committed wrong in this?
Yeah, this is like I feel like a little bit harder to describe everything. So on
Okay.
the right, just like families, and then there is like a lot of families in this picture. So you can't say like families and families and families. So
So you were confused about how exactly to place them together, right? What exactly to say?
This is a robot.
Yeah, it seems like a
Human.
robo. Yes, you can call it a robo. Yes.
Wow.
But so Husam, let me just question you one more thing. So was this the only thing that was making it hard for you in this task, or there was something else as well?
yeah, something like I don't know, like the word vocabulary about that. So
Mhm.
it's hard for me to describe like
Right. For example, there's
but
a kayak. What you can see, there's a kayak.
kayak. I know the kayak, but yeah,
Yeah.
So this is
but
an arrival, like we can say
What would you call that?
arrival or depart, conveyor belt.
Conveyor belt. Very good. Okay. So one minute, Isha, will come. So Husam, one more thing here, buddy. So when you were like, for example, the word kayak, right? So why didn't you try and start around that element first? Why did you get confused around seeing so many images? I mean, there are many things, but you have to. And I told you, right? You have to choose one direction and move in a clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. That's it. So you could have started with the kayak first and mentioned, for example, the color of the kayak. The size of the kayak. It's a mid-sized kayak. Okay, it's
Here,
whatever.
what is this?
Well, it's you use
Conveyor
it.
belt.
No. The yellow color thing that you can see.
the boat,
The boat.
boat,
Okay.
In more simple terms.
it's kayak.
Husam have you gone kayaking, Husam? Have you tried kayaking?
Yeah,
Okay, nice. You went solo or with a teammate or with a coach?
no, it's in my country with the coach.
Okay. In Morocco, you have kayaking. Whoa.
Yeah,
Is that like a nice pastime sport?
yeah. In the summer we have like rivers over
Okay.
there. So
It's interesting. Good to know. Great. So, Husam, we're gonna come back to you for a prediction on the same image. Okay. So this time, just try and develop the mental image. All you have to, what you had to do in this was, of course, dwell into colors. When you were saying male and female, you could have talked about, how they look, the appearance, what they're wearing, for example. So all these little points would have added value. But okay, for now it's enough. We can see how you perform on task 4. But we'll now shift to Isha. Isha, you ready?
But there are so many things happening in this picture actually.
Just, you don't have to describe all of them. Why are you folks worried on that, right? The elements are there, but your task 3 will be fulfilled if you just go in a nice direction with a flow, a
Yeah.
start, a body, and an end. So that's it. The image that you describe, the
Okay.
person cannot see. That's the question, right? That's the average question for this. So, number one thing, Isha, before I begin with you on this, what is a synonym of describe in your mind? Describing a scene, it is, right? So, what phrase or what word or what collocation, I don't know, what something else that you've thought around you can use in this?
We can depict or we see depict, this picture depicts,
Explain.
illustrate.
Explains, illustrates. Okay, that's a good word that I worked with you before, right? Illustrates for description would be a nice word to use. Good. Thinking cap works, with Isha. I think it's working very good. Isha is able to think very quick. Okay, great, Isha. So if you're ready, let's just reset the timer.
Let's see. Yeah, I've placed it. Oh
Perfect.
my
Take 30 seconds to prepare. Keep the anxiousness in the bag for now. All right, just 1 minute. Relax. It's a practice session. Nothing is lost. Good luck. I'm gonna start your practice time now. Do well.
God.
10 seconds to go. All right, Isha. Nice Isha speech now. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck. Let's begin now.
Well, this picture depicts a scene of an airport. Inside of the airport, it's a crowded airport wherein people are waiting for their luggage to keep on the conveyor belt, airport baggage conveyor belt, and uh, the people are looking elated also, and they are so happy. On the extreme left corner, there is one lady with orange hair and green coat. She is waiting for her turn. On the middle of the in the middle of the picture, there is a family with a kid. They are happy and they are looking happy with the small kid in the middle of the picture. The two kids are they are feeling as in they are meeting their parents, uh, and the girl is wearing a purple color coat. On the extreme right corner of the picture, there is one robot putting uh, what is it? Yeah, time is up. Putting
Battery.
So we are 1 minute and 20
15
seconds.
that's all I can see in this picture.
Yeah. At least you thought until the end. But Isha, we have to follow the timer. Right now, it's not on the screen for you because we're not using that
Yes,
software.
yes.
That we
20
use.
minutes up.
Yeah.
20 seconds up, sorry.
20 seconds up. It's fine. It's just time that you lost on majorly. But let's hear from Saurabh again. Saurabh, good thing, bad thing, whatever you feel like, that you can give as a feedback to Isha.
Yeah, obviously.
So
Time.
I was not looking at the picture because
Yeah, you
I was
imagine.
hearing it.
Yes.
So just so the task asked, and most of the things are explained very well.
Yeah.
There are something here and there, but
Ah.
mostly overall, I was able to get a picture of it. What's exactly going on?
That's important. That's a very good
Yeah.
thing. So, well done on that, Isha. Okay. And
My practice is, I think, working.
practice is working.
Little bit.
Practice, of course, always
Even
works.
I'm praying also that anxiousness just
Yeah.
go
So
out of
initially you had a level of anxiousness, Isha, but if you were listening to yourself, and of course this is all recorded, so you can listen to yourself later as well. But you will realize, Isha, that later part of performing in the same task of 60 seconds, you were better because then those ahs and those fillers had gone by. And
we get actually comfortable when we start. Initially, we have that hesitant. We are hesitant.
Right.
I think.
That's the point, So if you're doing something and you're able to move out of that anxiousness, that is
Because I got that initially the conveyor belt, that word, that is important in this picture, I think.
exactly. And the bigger picture first, So that is what we had to explain, right? Giving the idea of the bigger picture first. So that
But it is very unusual picture because what is this conveyor belt is completely like very unique, and there is one person on that conveyor belt also. Imagine.
Correct.
So actually, this is good if I say because you have a lot of things to talk about.
This kind of a picture is good. But
Exactly.
you you can say anything.
Of course, there are many, and the reason is, Isha, if you ponder again, when you see task 3 and task 8, you should understand all of this again. So I think but for Saurabh it might be new. Saurabh, when you've given task 3 and task 8, do you find some similarity between them?
No,
Not
I
on
think
top of your
I
mind?
didn't find any similarities because on task 8 there is very less things
Sometimes
about
it
which
can be
about.
complicated as
Because-
well. It can be complicated as well, but some
It
part
is
of
very
speech,
simple picture. I would say.
yeah, some part of speech sort of is similar. Okay, I'm going to give you an later down. You can connect the dots. But Isha, you know the similarity.
Yes, I think there is similarity regarding the directions and this thing on the top left corner or the top right corner.
Yes. The
These
way
are
you
same,
perform the
same
task.
only. Yeah.
Absolutely, Isha. Well done again. Claps for you. So when you see this particular part, sort of, and in specific, this is the similarity that both pictures you're using
Yeah.
descriptive words, but the picture that you're describing in
Yeah.
task 8 is unique. It is different. So that is the major difference, but there is a big similarity in the way you attempt it. This is why I specifically chose this one, and I have another one, that I wanted to, but I prefer to choose this one because this gives you more idea of how to, for example, work on task 8 as well, right in this session, where we're doing 3. But now, after Saurabh's chance, Isha, this was really nice, just to give you a little idea from myself, from my side. When you use certain words like crowded, seen, the people are looking elated. Yeah, this was one part where you went a little off track, Isha, where you actually talked about,
Predicted.
yeah, where you talked about
But they
making a
are feeling elated. Obviously, they are feeling happy.
task fulfillment. Isha, in task 3 is describing what you see. You have to be objective there.
But no, but we can see that they are happy.
So in a way to see that would be then they're smiling, I can see,
Smiling,
right?
smiling. Yeah.
That would be so,
That word is my favorite now. It's from CELPIP I have learned elated. From IELTS I have learned plethora.
so two words, for you in 2 tests. That is not a good start, Isha. Just kidding, but that's fine, for now, that's fine.
It's in my active vocabulary now.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So try and learn new words in the active vocabulary. It helps a lot. But one part that I'm not happy with you in this was that you still use the word seen. Okay, I wanted at least this to be solved by now. You still use the word seen, which this, right? You have to use a synonym.
Illustration.
Yes, illustration or something else we just discussed right before we start. So this is what anxiousness.
Depicts.
This is what anxiousness does, Isha. Okay, you know the word, it's there, but just because of that, that
But
thing,
I will improve.
of course you will improve, and you have improved, and you've come a far way. But I'm just trying to give you indicators. What, because you have the thinking hats today. So
Yeah.
you will remember things more, is what I'm assuming. Perfect, Sarah. Your chance now, buddy. Let's set the timer
Okay.
for you.
Yeah.
All set with you? Great. So the image is here. I'm going to start 30 seconds. You've got a good understanding on how to perform on this. More feedback from my end, but I'll ask Isha and Hussam also to listen to Saurabh carefully and try and help him, where we can. Okay. So good luck, Saurabh. Your timer for preparation has started. Just
So I'm
keep
looking
it
at
natural.
so
That's it.
I'm looking at a picture
Just
which is
sorry, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Yeah, still have 5 seconds.
okay.
See?
Take your time. Take your time. All right.
Should
Good
I
luck.
start?
We're going to be starting in 3. 1, 2, and 3.
I'm looking at a picture which is from arrival bay of airport. There are many luggage. There are a lot of luggage on the conveyor belt. Where on the far back there is a family which is picking up a crate of fruits. Next to that family, there's a guy standing with his hand folds, and there's a crow sitting on the hat. On his hat, and next to that person there is a kid with a hockey stick in his head, and next to that, in the left of the picture, there is seems like a person with a costume of a robot picking up luggage, which is similar to a battery pack, and overall, this is a arrival scene of an airport, and it looks very busy. So yeah. Uh, and that's all.
Okay. Good, Saurabh. Very nice. All right. We must applaud you on this. So, very
Yeah.
good. I was most of the time, with closed eyes. That means I was just able to imagine what you were speaking. That's the trick for this. So, when it comes to task 3, you have to give the listener that, in your speech itself, because right now we're watching ourselves as well. Eventually, imagine even my cameras are shut. We're not able to watch it. But just the voice itself is given the image. Okay, that's an indicator that you're performing well on all the rating parameters for this particular task. So sort of that was there. It was very good. Couple of very small fixes that quick fixes you can actually do in this. Um, from mine would be, for you said next to that person a couple of times. So the indicator that you were using,
Yeah.
you could show me a little more variance on that indicator. Okay, that's the first minute observation, and these are quick fixes. You can do it very quick. Then there was a word used like towards the end, like seems like. Try and avoid this, okay? Because now you're giving the listener an idea that you're kind of making a prediction. It's not exactly, but you're thinking or you seems like, instead of saying I can see it is like this versus it seems like it is like this. You're getting there's a difference in the speech. So that was one little, where you were starting to go off track, but you were there on track. Okay, it wasn't off. Buddy, then I saw that next to a family, right? So when you said next to a family, sort of, you can be a little more elaborative there and a little more descriptive, saying a family of three, a family of four, okay? A family of, you can put numbers to it, you can quantify it even in a different way, saying, they have a daughter and a son, and then there is a family. So that also gives an idea that there are four people in the family. And forward. That assured this sort of, and let's hear something from Isha first.
I find it really cool.
Very good.
And then in this
Particular
right
side of that.
two was only just
Yeah.
next to next.
Yeah.
Actually, the problem is if I talk about that family,
Besides,
I started around in the
it's
picture,
amazing.
and if I skip one or two, then the descriptor will change, the indicator will change. So I have to like say we are
But the
opposite to
best, but the best thing, what I have learned about this particular task is that we don't have. Earlier, I was in that zone that we have to describe everything in the picture. But
Exactly.
now I
Exactly.
got to
Now
know
you know
that
it doesn't require.
yeah,
So that's very
only
good.
the main idea and then to one or two.
Absolutely. So this is the main thing. Sort of, I think you got a hint of what you should be focusing on. This was nice. I believe you can improve it even better than this. And these little things would change your CLB eventually. Some observation from your end, Hussam? Mr. Chef Hussam?
Sorry.
Yeah, some observation from your end for Saurabh on this performance?
Yeah, he's nice describing, but still not continue all the things. Just he described like
Yeah,
foreground, but the background, but the foreground like
yeah. But
ground
that is
still.
not really even needed, Hussam. Okay, so try and understand.
Okay.
Even if he is choosing the foreground and the background, Buddy is where we're giving the bigger picture first. Okay, because that is important for task 3. That time, if Saurabh, you could have used indicators. Isha does that really well most of the time, and even Hussam, is now adapted to it. You're new, so you will take some time on understanding where to use those indicators in specific and in your speech, because naturally we don't speak like that. So we're like,
Foreground, background,
yeah,
top left, top right.
exactly. So you instead what was happening? Sort of you were repeating right next to this, on the left, beside. So we're using either basic indicators, right, or you were not really. I mean, you could have you can improvise on that, but for now, just focus on how exactly. Yeah, Hussam.
Sorry guys,
Oh, you
I'm
got it.
ready to go to work, so
Yes,
I'm so
perfect,
sorry. See you later.
Chef Hussam.
Okay,
We'll
thank
see you
you so
later.
much.
Have a good
Yeah, see you.
day
Bye
and cook good food.
bye. Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
And
Bye.
All right, so now let's jump on to making a prediction around this. Okay, we'll again have Isha perform and then Saurabh. But Saurabh, any more questions that pop up in your mind while listening to this or while performing on this task? Task 3 in
So I
specific.
think in the end, while concluding, I think I just describe it as like overall this is a very
Yeah, yeah.
busy
Correct.
airport arrival
Correct. That
zone.
wasn't
So
really needed, because that is supposed to be either you can do it in the start, that is an ideal way to do it, sort of. So I would advise you to give the bigger picture first in the start itself. For example, in task 4 now, you don't have to give the bigger picture at all. Okay, that is not needed. So in that part, yes, it was needed. So in this, your appropriate end could have been, this is what I can see, and instead of going any prediction, because you don't have to make any prediction. So
Prediction over here.
just end the scene by, this is what I can see, and here I am, right? Something like that. Okay, so that itself would be sufficient. Just a quick end, like 3-5 seconds end would be a problem. This time you got confused, and you were not really clear in your head, how exactly to end it. So it sounded like that. Even when you listen to this recording later, you will be able to identify that. When you listen to yourself itself, you would know that this is happening. But buddy, good. I really liked it. I want you to perform in a similar way, more naturally. Okay, when you're speaking, there is still a level of hesitation that I'm still feeling. That you're very good with conducting your speech. Okay, you're very good with that one. It doesn't really sound, but it's still there. That natural flow, sort of. That is what I want to inculcate. Okay, it's a bit cumbersome, but it is still possible. And once you'll be able to do it, I'll be flabbergasted. Just kidding. I wouldn't be. But here, one thing is that you should also work on the vocabulary part. So, okay? That is what I'm trying to hint you on. So once you're able to grasp certain new words on a daily basis, it would be a good part. Maybe we can take a little break here from Isha. She's working very good with words these days. So Isha, you still posted with those stickers at your home? Like the words that you had written them down? Very good. What are the new words that you've now grasped? Invite.
I've learned from that book. That book is really awesome.
Oh yes.
The writing book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a good word. So you learn good phrases also, good idioms
Yes.
also, and
I've
very
learned
nice.
make up for the lost time. This idiom.
Right. What does it mean? I think sort of understand what it means. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something more that you learned, Isha? Something that we can
Yes.
leave as an input with sort of.
Yes, like I am focusing on basically on idioms and new vocabulary. I learned one word, paraphernalia.
Okay. All right.
And one word was cynical.
Cynical, yes. That's also one of the words, yes. You read a lot of Buddhism texts, you're going to learn new words.
Yeah,
Many
unlinks, I know, perseverance. Okay. And we can use this word imbibe while giving an advice. Imbibe.
Yes. Given an advice, good idiom to always remember for you also. Sorry,
Yes, 2 cents.
These were my 2 cents. I hope it was helpful. Okay.
These were, no? These were.
These were because you've given them, right? So you're ending now. So these
These
were
were
my
my
2 cents. I hope it was helpful. Thank you.
And moreover, this idiom is also very, I think we can use on the spur of the moment. And I was in the same boat as you.
Yes.
Once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon. As per my limited...
Blessing in disguise.
Blessing in disguise, yes. That is very
Not
good.
Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea.
Very good.
Yeah, I've learned a lot of idioms.
This is a good improvement. I'm really happy to see this. So, is your chits working, or what kind of effort are you putting in?
Actually, I'm writing on the Excel sheet. One in Excel sheet, there are 2 tabs. One is for vocabulary. Whatever new vocabulary I'm learning, I'm writing down all the vocabulary, this thing, and synonyms, antonyms, sentence, sab kuch.
Very
And
good.
the second one is idioms. But I'm seriously, I'm amazed to see how many idioms I have mentioned. There are a lot of idioms, seriously, on the same board, and we can use this one also. If you have set your heart on something.
Okay. Set your heart right.
Come high water, or come hell or high water, something like that was an idiom.
See, there is. I've shared the email with all of you, right? There is this adjectives along with transition list. Transition list also would be very good. See, Isha, this is an ocean that you're now started to swim. Okay. Once you're done with swimming, you will learn even diving in this. So this is never ending. Okay?
But I'm finding it really cool.
Yeah, you
मतलब मेरे को ऐसे boring नहीं लग रहा.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you even learn more collocations, for example, so there are, there's a very humble way to put forward sort of things as per my limited understanding. Okay, as per my limited understanding, I feel so. That's You kind of being very humble.
As far as I know.
As far as I know. So what are the things you've learned? Is
I'm not an expert, but I can try.
yes, absolutely.
Put yourself in my shoe.
Yes, if exactly. So these kind of things are very good when you're performing on task 4 and 5, right? Because
Give
you
it
try
your best shot.
give it your best shot. Yes. So these are good idioms to leave it when it comes to the persuasion part, and when we're leaving the ball in the other person's court. There are three parts of comparing and persuading, right? So in the last third part, this is a very good way to do it. Okay. And task 1 not really needed. In task 3 and 4, we can't use a lot of idioms because you're
Yeah.
using those descriptions to do. So expressing your opinions you can, because then you can sound very good with your fluency and accuracy part. Okay. So that's there. But sort of, I'll share an Excel sheet with you as well as a format. You can either start noting it down in the Excel or making a diary of it, whatever works. Okay, but
But that you share that
the ebook
writing work.
I will
That is
share with Saurabh.
amazing.
Once I take
Yeah,
him through the
that is
theory,
this is amazing.
I will be sharing the ebook with him. I've mentioned this to you before, right? This is a 40-page ebook for your survey and email.
For
So
service and email.
that is where all this
It
good things.
contains
But there's
all the
another one, Isha, the
chapters.
Oxford books that I've shared with you also, the 2 ebooks, intermediate and advanced. There are exercises in
Oxford.
it. Yeah, there are 2. It's orange
I
color.
didn't receive.
I have shared it with you for
Today,
sure.
today.
No, not today. I've shared this with you right when we had started the sessions. Yeah,
Okay, I'll check.
quite in the
अभी तो
first week, I must
पता
have.
नहीं.
That's also a good book if you want
Yeah.
to use a workbook, and then learn idioms through it. But also focus on phrasal verbs, modal verbs, and collocations.
Wonderful.
Keep that aspect strong as well. Perfect. So let's now
Like
veer
hot
out.
tea. Collocation is hot tea. We never say
Yeah,
no.
quick tea. Yes.
Quick tea.
Quick train, fast train, quick train. Let me have a quick shower, fast shower. You never say, let me have a fast shower and come back. Right? Let me have a quick shower. So there are many collocations. Crystal
Collocation.
clear is also a collocation, for example.
Crystal clear.
Yeah. What are collocations, Isha? A good question.
Combination of two words.
Oh, you remember.
And
For
yeah,
what was the
combination of two
purpose?
words, as in it means जो पहले से चलता आ रहा है. There
Okay.
is no logic behind it, but we use it as it is.
Yes. But क्यों use करा जाता है? Why do we use it, Isha?
To enhance the sentence structure.
Yeah, that's kind of correct. I mean, that's 85% correct, I would say. But
Because वो use करते आ रहे हैं ना, the
exactly. It's just
forefathers
in
and all.
the language, exactly, right? So it's in the language. So this is what I'm going to be beginning your writing, speaking sessions on. So I'll take you through the complete theory. But for now, just remember that 2 words, when placed together, co-located words is a
Location.
collocation. Okay. Most of the time, the
Got it.
meaning of the word is in the spelling itself, the wordings
ये
itself.
बंदा क्या कर रहा है ना, ये मतलब ये पिक्चर में हॉर्स को खींच रहा है.
Yeah. Great. So let's do one thing now, Isha. Take 30 seconds to prepare. Again, what you really just have to work now on this would be just using future tenses, just predictions, and don't be anxious at all. Just attempt it
Seriously, man.
with a nice,
कुछ
cool.
नहीं है, पिक्चर ही तो डिस्क्राइब करनी है क्या है, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं.
Exactly. Attempt it with this Isha vibe, and you will perform with confidence, Isha. Okay.
Yeah.
So give me 2 thumbs up, Isha, before we begin your practice session.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yes, perfect. So I'm gonna start the timer for you. 30 seconds. No anxiousness needed. We're just 2 people. Okay, in your session. Good luck for it. Your time has started.
where is the picture?
The picture is visible to you, right?
Um,
Perfect. 10 seconds to go. Isha, good luck. Good luck. Do well. Okay, we begin now.
okay. So in this picture, on the extreme left corner, where three people are waiting, or 2 females and 1 male. They'll collect their luggage and move to towards parking lot, and in the next to them there is one guy who is trying to pull a horse from the conveyor belt. He will pull the horse, and he will be succeeded in pulling the horse, and he will also move towards his destination. In the foreground of the picture, there are two families. One family with a small kid toddler, and she will going to carry the toddler because they are feeling elated, and that's what I think will going to help next.
Okay, so almost there 2 seconds before, but that's fine.
I
Uh,
wanted to explain with this family. They are feeling elated. Elated is my favorite word now.
I know, absolutely. Right? That's a good word that you've learned. So, by the way, it
Yeah,
takes. Do you know sort of how much time it takes really to learn a new word once you've grown as an adult? How many times of
So
repetitions?
we
21.
have told that it would be like six at least.
Minimum six. But what's the max it takes? You're a quick learner, but
Nope,
16 times at what the text says. It could be
16.
even 20, 25 times. Right? So,
But repetition, I think what I do, I'll share my thing
please.
because I'm working for 9 hours. So I record all the text. Whatever I'm reading, I don't read every time. I just record.
Record
मतलब
it.
record कर लेती हूँ उसको सब कुछ, and then I hear on loudspeaker. जब full time
Very
वो
good.
चाहे मैं kitchen में भी काम कर रही हूँ, तब भी I just listen. तो वो mind में it's like set हो
Set it up.
जाता है.
Absolutely. That is the way to do it. So you're developing your passive and move into active and then using it naturally, and that is how you develop speech. Very good. That's the right way. And when you confuse, for example, toddler, okay, when you confused around any pronunciations as well, the best way, Isha, would be to use the U English too. Okay. When you are, and sometimes what happens is you're not really sure of what the right pronunciation is because you heard a new word. So what my sister does in this is she listens, she types it on Google, and then she listens to because in
हाँ,
Google you can hear the pronunciation. That's another way. But if you really want to watch also, because sometimes when you watch how to really speak that,
yes.
right? I don't want to talk about diphthongs and all the technical jargons of it. It's just going to confuse you. What it's made. So even in intonation, when I was doing my course, folks, it's not even written in English, right? So you know how many sounds are there? That's a good question. Because it's a thinking hat again. So, how many sounds are there in English language, and how many alphabets are there in English language?
Alphabets, I know
How many?
22,
22.
21.
Whoa.
26 alphabets and 5 nouns.
Yes, that's there. A E I O U. But one thing here, so you haven't, the base. This is how the base is developed, Isha. And once the base is developed, well, the building that you develop on the base is going to be the big, beautiful, nice, beastly building. Okay, so it's good, but you will learn that there are 44 sounds in English. 44. Okay, so this is why English itself is a bit complicated when it comes to
Complicated.
pronunciation. I'm not talking about accents, sort of, Arisha, okay? I'm talking just about sounds in English. There are 44 sounds. And when we write them down in, with that, so you must have seen there is IPA, there's a standard which is followed in this. And it doesn't even look like in English, because the way it's written is those 44 symbols of those sounds when you learn pronunciation. And then you go really advanced in something like this. But from the bigger picture, what you can do, Isha, is just use tools that you have. You English is good, else at least Google and hear the words, pronunciations. When you encounter a new word. Okay. So for example, tardy, if I tell you tardy, do you know what is tardy? Any idea?
Tardiness means, I think, tired.
You're trying to make sense with the logic, which is the right way to do it, but tardy is not that. So, sort of, what is tardy?
But I've heard this word.
Just Google it once, okay? I know, of course,
Yeah.
but I want you to Google Isha. Google it and tell the first things that you see.
Yeah,
When you're especially being late in something, okay? So when I know Saurabh is a very punctual guy, he wouldn't do it, but somebody else is there who is getting late,
the
you can be, oh,
quality
I'm
or fact of being late. Tardiness.
exactly, okay? So when you're being late, you can use it for example, you have a meeting and like, oh guys, I was just running multiple errands, and right now I'm sorry, my apologies for being a bit tardy right now. Okay, So that is one way to just put forward and use these words in a practical way as well. But of course, like all these little things, you're going to learn with time and with your efforts of moving in the direction. And Isha has come a big far way. So Isha, I'm really happy that you're here. And in this task that you performed, I really liked the overall things. They were, for example, you could have dwelled a deeper, pull the horse, but pull,
Actually, 1 second seems sometimes it's daunting, but it's not that much. अभी मुझे डर थोड़ा कम हो रहा है.
ऐसे ही कम होगा.
1 second is नहीं कुछ भी नहीं है यार क्या है उसमें.
एग्जैक्टली 60 सेकंड कुछ नहीं है. आप इजीली 1 मिनट 20 सेकंड तक जा रहे हो अगर आप अपने
When
मन
I
से
was in preparing for my MBA extempore and all, we used to speak for almost 5 to 10 minutes in a go, and that to extempore. मतलब पूरा group discussions और वो हो रहा है, and that 11-12 years back.
Absolutely. So this is nothing, right? Max you have to speak is 90 seconds. I think it's a too easy game
And
to have.
90-second response is like giving an opinion.
Exactly.
So that is okay.
Exactly. And then you form those three ideas in your head before you attempt that, right? So, see, Isha, I'm telling you again, buddy, you've been with me for a couple of weeks now. I have been listening to your speech, been watching your writings, and you've come a far way from where you had to go and where you have to reach. But
And I'm happy, but within like Corona,
with all that
with
troubles on
Corona.
your head, yes, absolutely. With all the burden on your shoulders, you did perform really well. Okay, like Saurabh doesn't have an idea of the backstory, but Saurabh, she was detected with COVID. At the time when she started,
And prior to that,
and prior to that,
But-
also some things happened in her life. But eventually, presently, where when she joined the sessions, she was like bit silent, not the Isha that you see with chirpy, smiling faces. She was a bit lost into things, but of course now she's come big far way. The problem is that the Delhi center has been closed, so she didn't get a time to perform and give this. But as a listener, sort of some point that you could gather for Isha on this, and the last task that she performed in predictions, what was your observation?
I think mostly it was good. Just about one point where she was talking about the cow, and she just think like, what should I call that? And then she moved to another object. So they're just a little bit. I think what you can do is you just leave that where you are not confident enough. So
yes.
Exactly.
that's the thing.
But this kind of a picture is, I think,
Is the
it's
hardest
good.
one that you can get in your exam.
No.
You won't get
It's
you
good
get anything
actually
simple.
because there are a lot of things happening, and we can choose as per our comfortable.
And you can just dwell deeper in that, right? So Isha, when you were talking about pull the horse, right? You could have talked about the direction where the horse, the horse.
I
Yes, sir.
got a similar image of an airport arrival hole
Okay.
in my last exam.
Oh, you did get. Okay.
Yeah, very similar. It's like the same picture kind of it, I can say, but very similar image in my task 3 and 4. And prior to that, on one exam, it was a dog park, and there are so many dogs, around 20 dogs with their owners. So it's very hard to like pinpointing which is where.
Correct.
So it is whether it's bag, it's like you placed all the dots, kind of dogs, and all are in the same picture. So it's very hard to traverse
Around that. Yes. See, it's not really hard, sort of. It's just that the practice that is needed in order to make it sound easy is not there. So, if you hear Isha now, I mean, if you still can think of something negative on this, I would be very happy, because this would be good feedback for her. But eventually, I know she's come a big far way. Her initially, the pauses, fillers were many. Now because she's listening to her speech multiple times, that is improving those fillers. She's able to control them well. So Isha,
So
that's
how you do it, Isha? You just record yourself while.
What I do, actually, I don't have much time because 9 hours shift, and sometimes I have to do for 10 hours also with 1 hour of break, and then in that 1 hour I have to cook for myself and all the household chores. So what I do, मैं रिकॉर्ड कर लेती हूँ अपनी वॉइस रिकॉर्डर में सारा जो पढ़ना होता है ना,
very good.
इंस्पायर्ड होके उसको बारी बारी पढ़ना पड़ेगा. I just
Correct.
record everything what
It's a
I
smart
am
way.
studying. पूरी
Yes.
book की book record कर लेती हूँ, and then on the this
Speaker.
loudspeaker I just hear every time, whether I'm cooking, whether I'm working, जहाँ पे भी पूरा दिन मैं उसको सुनती रहती हूँ. तो रिपीटेशन में जब सुनती रहती हूँ, वो वर्ड माइंड में कहीं ना कहीं फिट हो
Settle
जाते
हो
हैं.
जाता है. Of course. No? So that's a very smart way, Isha.
पूरी
No? Clap for
मैड
it again.
इंग्लिश बुक मैंने
Yes.
रिकॉर्ड कर रखी है इसमें. पूरी आज की एक बुक रिकॉर्ड कर रखी है मैंने. मैं मॉर्निंग में उठती हूँ, मैं रिकॉर्ड कर देती हूँ सारा कुछ.
That's a very smart way. No? So जब इसको फाइन ट्यूनिंग करेंगे ना ईशा, अभी
हाँ.
आपका टेस्ट का देखेंगे. We'll discuss offline on that.
हाँ.
You know, when you now centers have opened, there are new dates in Delhi as well. So,
हाँ.
but आपका
6th का मैंने
writing
बुक किया है.
के ऊपर थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिस फोकस और करना
हाँ,
है.
राइटिंग का करना है,
अभी
बट
वहाँ
मतलब फिर भी मुझे राइटिंग में इनिशियली नहीं था, बट अब मुझे कॉन्फिडेंस है कि मतलब कुछ मैंने वर्ड्स उसके भी बहुत सारे काइंड ऑफ रट ही लिए हैं. एक दो सेंटेंसेस तो मैं चिपका दूंगी.
See, मैं सौरभ को भी पहले ये बता रहा था, but this is the worst thing that I can teach you as a teacher. Right? I don't want to give you formats. Whatever I give you is
not
identify.
formats, but we can as we use our wisdom, and like this sentence I like so much.
Create your own format.
Like, yeah.
That is best. Which one you like the best?
Sentence one. There is a one sentence, and that this has surely dented my this kind of auto repairs. Auto को हटा दो, वो auto repairs था. The auto repairs ripoffs have dented my confidence to come. अरे कुछ ना कुछ तो डाल ही दो इसमें. Ripoff भी आ गया and then dented भी आ गया.
That's good, Isha. Really good. I again claps again for you because you're putting in the effort. That is what is needed, right? So, and that's a very smart way. Maybe Saurabh, you can grasp something from it too. Record yourself and listen to yourself, and convert your voice to text. That helps a lot, folks. Okay. So, of course, I give you feedback, but my feedback is on spot most of the time, right? Until we are doing some activity, where I give you feedback at the later time. But if you listen to yourself, observe your own speech, it gives you a very good idea. So, mixture of things work. One thing
And
doesn't work.
moreover, what I think, what I have done 2-3 times, one or two, I've let's ratto. I would not say. मतलब उसको थोड़ा सा याद करके उसको 5 से बार बहुत ज़्यादा
बार-बार
वॉइस
repeat
रिकॉर्डर में अपना रिकॉर्ड कर लिया विदाउट सीइंग दैट. मतलब 5-6 टाइम्स उसको लिख लिया और उसको रिकॉर्ड कर लिया उसी को. तो उसमें से कुछ वर्डिंग्स आप हर जगह में कहीं चिपका सकते हो.
यूज कर सकते हो, ऑफ कोर्स. और यही नेचुरल होता है ईशा, जिसको आप चिपकाना बोल रहे हो, बट वो एक काइंड ऑफ नेचुरल वर्ड है. इफ आई लुक एट सेल्फ के पैरामीटर्स में
other situations also, like while I was performing this one quick task, hair dressing, and that one जो उस दिन हुआ था, so now अगर कुछ भी आता है, कोई चूज करना है कॉलेज का, so I'm confident कि हाँ मैं कर सकती हूँ, बता सकती हूँ 2-3 दिन.
यही अब आपको सिर्फ टाइमिंग को एडहियर करना है, और बाकी आपका काफी कुछ स्पीच के अंदर मैं इतना डिससैटिस्फाइड नहीं हूँ. आई एम वेरी हैप्पी. आई नो आप 9 के तो ऊपर ही निकल रहे हो, बट
I'll work on it और भी ज्यादा.
राइटिंग के ऊपर फोकस रखना है ईशा, है ना. वहाँ पे थोड़ी प्रैक्टिस जल्दी करना पड़ेगा. और एक फीडबैक कॉल भी रखते हैं. वी मीट and discuss that. Okay, so let's have your chance in this. If you're ready, I'll set down the timer now for you. Preparation timer has started. You know everything, Saurabh, in this, just future tenses, and you can straight start from a future tense. Don't have to give a bigger picture in this. Good luck, Mr. Saurabh. Can I have thumbs up from you as well? 2 thumbs up. All right. Good luck. 5 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
So in future, I think most probably that kayak will stuck in the place because of the narrow opening, and it will stop completely the conveyor belt, and people will be just surprised to see what just happened. On the far back where there is a serviceman who's just entering into the zone, or will just note down what just happened and make a report of it. Next to the guy, the robot, which with trying to pull up the battery seems very heavy. So, in my view, I think the battery will fall down and he will stuck there and just stand still. On the far back, the bird on the guy's head will start flying here and there and will put a airport in a chaos. So I think this would be happening in near future in this airport.
All right, good. So this was again nice. Sort of the major thing that I feel you can improve on is your fluency aspect and bringing that tone, that change of intonation and rhythm moving, with it. So, like some, for example, paying emphasis on certain word and then certain words you move it even quicker instead of a flat base of speech. Okay? So we have Ramneet also in the sessions presently. She's also unfortunately with COVID, but she's a medical professional herself, and her speech also is very good, and she's given the exam just like you a couple of times. But again, she couldn't touch nine because of the same reason itself. So you need to focus on when it comes to natural sort of understand. There's so many aspects to it, but one kind of hack to it is just paying emphasis, having a good intonation, the speech that you're speaking, it should feel, that you're really trying to make a nice, happy prediction around it. So that will reflect in your tonality as well. And eventually, that is something that you should be working. Otherwise, it's more.
But this is very tricky. But
It is tricky. It is combined with a lot of
it's
factors.
contradiction because because this is not a normal situation. This is a test preparation and उसमें भी आपको खुशी भी दिखानी है, sorrow भी दिखाना है, ऐसे कैसे?
और वो भी 30 सेकंड और 60 सेकंड और 90 सेकंड के अंदर. So
yeah, मतलब
see, everything has an advantage, is disadvantage, right? Here, understand those people are not seeing you, unlike in IELTS exam or even
yes,
PTE exam. They're
But
watching
I got
you.
to
Right?
know one thing, that in both IELTS and CELPIP, one thing is common, that is that has to be natural. Mechanical नहीं होना.
नहीं होना चाहिए. मतलब वो अभी भी सौरभ का things are there. सौरभ, so one more thing that I noticed here, buddy, was के, for example, stuck, the first word that you used, okay? You had to use it in a different grammatical tense, not in the word that because that whole sentence itself, maybe, you could have, for example, I've noted it here, maybe you could have said will be stuck, or you could have said it is stuck right now, okay?
Okay.
Or it will be stuck. So
I think I said it's going to stuck the.
you can listen to a recording of this, okay? So mostly you could
I'm
have
not sure.
just no
Yeah.
problems at all. It's just that the tense, absolutely, when you listen to yourself, so you'll understand this, in a better way. This is why I'm saying for you, it's more unlearning journey from now. Okay,
Yeah.
your learning journey is there. It's already very big. My job, mostly for you as a mentor, here is making you work on the unlearn journey, and that is going to be crucial. So Isha knows the complete circle, right? Learn, unlearn,
Yes.
and what is the
Learn,
last one?
unlearn, and relearn.
Very good. So Isha is very good with the hat. Whenever this is a good exercise, we should do it more with Isha. With the hat on, Isha performs good. But folks, very good. I hope you enjoyed today's session. It was
Yeah, it was fun.
some learning and more fun for you. And eventually, I hope you were able to even grasp, what I want to tell you here as a difference between task 3 and 4. Okay, so that is absolutely crucial for you to understand when you're performing on task 3, 4, so that you always remember this particular learnings in the session. Of course, speech, as I told you, sort of right in the start of the session. What are the two parts of speech?
Fluency.
Accuracy, right? So your fluency part will take some more time to develop. Okay? So don't feel that one session is done. It's just to push you more. Okay, and once you keep on moving in the direction, you reach Isha level and even better than Isha. Isha just has to work on how Isha is. Okay, Isha, you just have to speak with how you speak. You don't have to copy an accent. You don't have to copy words. You don't have to use filler words. You just have to speak as how you speak in natural way. Okay,
Yes.
that's gonna get you to the difference. So we're meeting again next Friday, of course, Friday for the next round. But Isha, please do submit some more writing assessments.
Yes, I
to
will.
work on that front with you.
But you were telling that feedback session with
Yes, the feedback session is also there. Yes, but I want you to give me at least 2 more news sets, right? so that I
Okay.
get them corrected
So
also.
can we schedule on Saturday maybe?
Yes, absolutely. I
Till
would
then,
be
I'll give
available on
you
Saturday.
two sets.
Works.
Yeah.
We'll work for some time in probably in the day or the evening. You're in India, no
Yeah.
problems.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
we'll schedule something for Saturday. But
And
try.
then
Yeah,
I
sure.
will also.
Please.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no. I was to come to you itself. Like when do you wanna the theory sessions to
Okay.
begin? Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, anytime in the day, and also I find out my two writings which I did in past.
Okay.
So I'll be sending those to you just for
Sure.
you have a look on them,
Sure.
and so to understand where I am with my current level.
Perfect. That would be a good start. Share that. I will give you tasks if you need, or if you have access to the software, you can yourself, give me like. Of course, let's move with theory first. Let's not skip
Yeah,
things. So then because
yeah,
then you'll be able to understand the technical jargons also very well. So
exactly.
at this point, there are some loopholes that I've discovered in the last session. So
Yeah,
I've tailor-made your course, sort of. We're gonna work on it. You will eventually get down the result that you're looking at. And I hope at least the session was able to add value to you guys again, folks. We'll meet again. Saurabh, I'll
Yeah. Sure.
connect with you tomorrow. Isha, we're connecting on Friday and then on Saturday for the writing. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect, folks. Enjoy. Have your
cool.
time.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Take
Zain.
care. Pleasure. Bye.